Hi, I want to talk to you about one of the assignments that I've added to this year. It is the ChatGPT Risk Assessment and Health Education Campaign assignment. So you are guinea pigs. This is an assignment that you are going to do this summer, and you are going to help me refine it so I can roll it out to other students, which is good and bad. So one, there's not a lot of examples that I can give you. ChatGPT is brand new to the world, so it's not like we have a ton to go by. But two, the good part is that I am not going to grade you overly harshly for this. And now there are certain things that you still need to be able to do that are not necessarily ChatGPT related. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that it is you defining a health topic. All right, you're going to define your health topic. You can do heart disease in the US, but try to be more specific. You need to identify a health problem that you want to address. You need to identify who your target population is by looking at an area. That's usually the easiest thing. You can also say who has the highest rates of chlamydia in Ohio, and that would give you some information. So you are going to identify a health topic, a target population, or area that you want to focus on, and then you're going to ask ChatGPT to give you more info and more data. So you're identifying what are the risk factors, what are the symptoms, what are the mortality rates or morbidity rates, where in Ohio is it the worst, who has it the worst or is more likely to contract chlamydia or develop heart disease or whatever that looks like, whichever health problem you pick. Then you're going to go into ChatGPT, which I give you some instructions on where. ChatGPT, the chatopenai.com is really one of the first, and it's one of the easiest. Perplexity AI also gives you sources, which is another one you can use. But what I like about ChatGPT is that you go in and you ask it questions. You need to give it very specific prompts, and then it will continue to ask you questions about your health problem and your people and all this other stuff, and you just keep building on that. And then you, after collecting a bunch of information about the health problem, can say, all right, create a health education campaign for me using social media. And it will come up with strategies for you. Of course, the very first thing it's going to tell you in any situation when you ask it that is define the goals. Now, for us in health education and program planning that you might take in your senior year, defining the goals is one of the biggest things you got to do. You got to be able to have a rationale for your program. Why are you doing it? And you need to define a goal. So for me, when I asked it to identify create a social media campaign targeting women in Appalachian, Ohio, addressing key risk factors and identifying symptoms for heart disease among women, it said, define the goals. The primary goal of the social media campaign is to increase awareness of heart disease risk factors and symptoms among women in Appalachian, Ohio, and encourage them to take preventive action. It's a goal. You can even have it write your goal for you. Ask ChatGPT to help you write a goal. It then said, identify your target audience. This is important. It's also a huge strategy that you need to remember. This key thing for marketing and health education is who is your target audience? Who is your target market, right? Who is your specific population that you are focused on? In this case, the target audience is women living in Appalachian, Ohio. Consider their specific needs, preferences, and values when developing the messaging and content. Then it says develop the message. Now it says it should be clear, concise, and relatable. Use language that resonates with the target audience. You may also consider sharing personal stories or testimonials because that is what people in the Appalachian region like. ChatGPT picks up on that. If you say Appalachian, Ohio, it gives you tools that are specific to the Appalachian region, which I love. Choose the social media platforms. It says identify the social media platforms that are most popular among the target audience, such as Facebook or Instagram. It says you may also consider using TikTok, which is becoming increasingly popular among younger generations, but that's already huge. This is kind of dated a little bit. Create the content, develop social media content that is visually appealing, shareable, and informative. And it has other information. Schedule and post the content. Encourage action. Monitor and evaluate the campaign. So it gives you all of the things that we do in health education and gives you a specific strategy. I want you to give more specific information. Once you have that, like it says, choose the social media campaigns in your, on your website, when you're talking about your ChatGPT assessment, I want you to say, I'm going to use TikTok to create videos to go out to these women, to tell them about the symptoms of heart disease. I'm going to create infographics and send those out through the health department website or through their, doctor, whatever that looks like. I want you to come up with how you're going to do it using ChatGPT, okay? It will give you an entire strategy, I promise, if you keep asking it the right questions, okay? So I know this video is a little longer. My apologies, but hopefully this will help you, and we'll talk more about it as I go, okay? All right, get started. Thank you.